we go on to probably the title race, I guess. Now, for me, there's only two teams in it now. There is only two teams.
I would say so, yeah.
You know, Chelsea are way back now, and you don't see both Liverpool and Man City dropping that many points between now and the end of the season. I mean, what it would take to get Chelsea back into this title race. So, I mean, I think it's going to go down to the wire. I don't think. I mean, everyone was saying that the title was won back in January. I didn't.
To be fair, though, Man City were skating away with it.
But I think that was also kind of skewed by the number of extra games City had played. So we played so many more games. It looks like a massive margin, but Liverpool have won all their games.
Yeah.
So if you're getting 3 points every game, you can quite quickly close that gap. I think we played 3 more games than at one point. So yeah, I mean they had 9 points they could easily make up, and did, because they've won all their games. City have obviously dropped 5 points since the turn of the year, and Liverpool have made those points up as well.
Well,
so
look,
it's back to 3 if you played the same number of games. Obviously, we played on Sunday after Liverpool had played on the Saturday, and extended it again to 6. But really, let's say the margin's 3.
And they've still got to play each other, haven't they?
Yeah. So that's we've got Palace away, Burnley away. This is just in the Premier League, and then it's the Liverpool game at home at the Etihad.
I mean, it is going to be an exciting finish. I mean, probably a very scary one for you.
Oh, yeah. City like to do that.
Although
last year they didn't. Yeah.
bit of a nervy one for you, like. But for me, as a neutral in that sense, I think it's going to be a really tough finish. No, it's going to go to the wire.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you look, it's not 3 years ago. It is now, when basically it came down to the game at the Etihad. City won it 2-1. It was like 11 millimetres or something ridiculous in the John Stones clearance off the line. And that was the margin that City won the title by, because after that they won every game. Both teams won every game towards the end of the season, and City ended up winning by 1 point. And I think it's going to be as narrow a margin, maybe not 11 centimetres, whatever ridiculous it was.
But it is going to be tight.
It's going to be tight. It's going to be a very tight race, without a doubt.
And I mean, you know for a fact that Jurgen Klopp's hungry, isn't he? I mean, Liverpool are hungry.
Yeah,
so they really want to win this again. And but the thing is, I mean, am I right in thinking that this is Guardiola's last?
No, he's signed to the end of next season.
Oh, right.
And he's also kind of intimated it a little bit now that might not be his last season. He just said he's trying to make out now that well, as he always does, he said, well, that's when my contract ends, and it's up to the owners whether or not they renew my contract, and that's dependent on results. So he's come out and said that again, which kind of says he may extend beyond next year as well. So it's not his last season this season anyway, because he's under contract for the 22-23 season, and it may go on beyond then, much to the ill wishes of so many people who wanted him to be gone. Certainly on the other side of Manchester, I would say.
The red side.
The red side of Manchester, yeah. Or Salford as we know it.
Yeah, Salford City.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously for the title race, you know, I think you're right. Chelsea are out of that now. It's a 2-horse race, and that's the way it's going to be. Thinking about obviously the 4th place, who do you think's going to end up getting that Champions League spot?
Well, I mean, to be honest, we thought it was just about 4th place. We thought, oh, Chelsea are way off in front of, they're in the title race. They're not in the battle for 4th. But actually, Arsenal are now getting quite close to them for 3rd.
Definitely.
The form that Arsenal in, you can't write them off. They've done exceptionally well to get themselves. I think they're definitely favourite to finish in the top 4 now. Manchester United falling away. The results haven't been there. Obviously, got a spanking on Sunday, and I think they're drawing a lot of games as well rather than winning them. Which that end of the table, I just don't think that's good enough to finish in the top 4. West Ham fading away a little bit after their early start was really played really well up to
West Ham are kind of up and down, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they were quite unlucky on Sunday against Liverpool. Or Saturday, sorry. Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it's ironic that decision, because Liverpool fans were completely and utterly moaning about the new handball. What's an active part of the body? And if you see the line that's drawn for Mane being onside, it's where they draw it from. It's exactly there. It's right from the sleeve down to the ground. So it's that plays him on, basically. Plays Mane on. And that is the only goal of the game. West Ham had their chances as well.
Yeah, they did. I mean, David Moyes, I think, was a bit gutted about that. I think he did. I did hear him say, it was an interview, and he said that they played really, really well and kind of got nothing from it, really.
As they did at the London Stadium as well. And did get the result, actually. Got the 3-2, where they hit them on the break and created chances and took them. Yeah.
Good side, but I mean, the way I'm looking at it at the minute, I'm not going to say who's going to win the title, but I think Chelsea are going to be in that Champions League place, and personally, I think, like what you say, I mean, Arsenal, I think they've got 3 games in hand on Manchester United at the moment. Right. I think, for me, Arsenal are going to claim that. So,
I mean, that's a lot of, you imagine they get at least 6 out of that, say. Which is going to really open up a gap. I think West Ham have dropped out of it. I think Tottenham are up and down at the moment, aren't they? 5-0 last night. Lose to Burnley, beat City. It's they're all over the place at the moment. It's knocked out the cup against Middlesbrough.
That was a great result, that, for Middlesbrough, man. I mean, we're gonna mention Manchester United here. Obviously, you cocked the hoop.
Well, about the derby, yeah.
And 4-1.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only time they turn up on our radar at the moment, really, because they're really a poor team at the moment for me. I think there's something wrong in that dressing room. There's something wrong with the club, fundamentally.
And
we've been saying that all season. It's not something we're just saying because they've lost 4-1. We have been saying that all season. There is something wrong with that club, and they keep changing the manager, thinking that's going to resolve it, and it's not.
But the thing is, I mean, when you look at Manchester United, I mean, basically they are a global brand, aren't they? And they are. I mean, they're probably really financially the biggest club in the world.
I think their revenues are probably the highest.
Revenue.
Yeah. But they're massively in debt. They're 500 million in debt.
Well,
£500 million. It's not to be sniffed at, is it?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was quite shocked when I found out, doing a little bit of research, that Manchester United in the last 10 years, since 2012, have spent £909 million.
They're the biggest spenders over the last 3 years, aren't they?
Yeah.
In the Premier League.
Yeah.
Well, I think in the world.
In the world.
In terms of football,
Yeah. And it's just not working, is it?
I think they buy already finished players, thinking they're just going to, if we buy all these finished players and put them together in a team, they're going to play. And I think that's what their problem is where if you look at sort of like how City have building a team, how Newcastle are going to try and build a team, or how Liverpool have built a team, is they buy players who are sort of like showing promise.
Yeah.
But then can adapt to the style of play that they're playing. Whereas, I mean, the idea of bringing back Cristiano Ronaldo to fit into a team that was doing all right, actually. They finished second last year. That's not a bad finish, really. They're not going to finish there this year. So, the idea of bringing in a 37-year-old to come and play, albeit all his talents, how does that fit in with your overall structure of a team? It doesn't. It's just a commercial signing to sell more shirts. I'm sure they made a massive profit on him signing, but that's not good for the team.
It's not at all. I mean, I listened to an interview with Roy Keane after the Manchester derby.
I saw that as well. Yeah.
I mean, hey, I can imagine. Like, he was absolutely livid. He was furious, and I understand from his point of view why, but. I mean, he said something very interesting, which I've thought for a while as well. It was about Manchester United players leaving their ego at the front door and getting on with it. and getting their sleeves rolled up and getting stuck in. But it seems like there's too many egos on the pitch. And to be honest, whenever they seem to be on the ball, they seem to be like really bottling it.
Yeah, I mean,
they're like very nervous.
What you were saying there, I absolutely agree with what Keane said. I mean, he said basically he spent all his time, posting the new haircut on Twitter.
Yeah.
All this like essentially the image around them basically that they want to create. But he doesn't give a shit about that. What he gives a shit about is what turns up on the pitch on.
Exactly.
And obviously when I used to watch Roy Keane, couldn't stand him because he was a Manchester United player, and he was a very good one as well.
Yeah, he was.
He's grown on me a lot actually recently. I think his opinion's very valid, and I agree with him a lot. I hate that mentality of football that thinks it's about me first. It's a team sport. And if you don't play for your team and you're just all about that Twitter and that commercialisation of your
social media,
your brand,
then
quite happily show them the door. Ferguson did so with Beckham when Beckham was getting too big for his boots, quite famously. And I think that's what that club needs to learn from, because that ruthlessness that Ferguson had is what they're lacking these days.
Well, I mean, this guy they've got in charge at the moment, Ranić, for me, it sends out all the wrong messages that he's like an interim manager till the end of the season.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever a good idea.
And I think the egos in that changing room are kind of bossing him.
Well, we said that about Solskjaer as well, though, didn't we? It was like, and he wasn't. He was on a long-term contract.
Yeah.
And it was just, he's not strong enough for these players. Well, if you get a manager coming in, and all right, Solskjaer didn't have that much experience, but if you're getting a manager in like Solskjaer, then you can't be bringing in egos that big into your dressing room, because he is going to be dominated by them, because in the same team, Solskjaer was on the bench and they were on the pitch.
Exactly.
And I think that probably showed a little bit. We're obviously talking about Ronaldo in that sense. But yeah, I think it's not just the manager. It's not. Maybe the players of the dressing room is a bit of a problem, but you've got to look at the overall structure of the club and say that it's not working at the moment. I think that,
not.
Because they're not appointing the right manager, they're not making the right purchases in the transfer market. As you say, it's the biggest spenders, but what they've spent it on is not working.
Well, I mean, you look at Maguire. Well, I'm sorry.
People are questioning his. We questioned his ability anyway in the past, but people are really now questioning his ability.
They are, and his leadership. His leadership. But I mean, you look at players like Varane, you look at Fernandes, you look at.
Varane's a surprise. Actually, I thought Varane would be a bit of a better signing for them, but
he seems to have. I don't know. He seems to be hiding.
Went into a shell, sort of. I think,
He's.
But then again, you can only play
also
with
Rashford. Rashford
seems to have given up. Basically, it doesn't seem to want to be with the club anymore. I've seen that actually today. That it's rumoured that he may be going to PSG, which if Mbappe goes to Real Madrid, that's not a like-for-like swap. I like Rashford. I think from what he's done off the pitch more though than what he's done on it.
Definitely. I mean, he has done well off the pitch, I have to say. Salute the guy for that, because he's done a lot of good. But I mean, honestly, we could go on and on and on and talk about them.
Yeah. Well, my biggest, because this comes up in every video we do, where we start mentioning Manchester, and I see it's on your sheet as well.
Yeah.
Is Pogba.
yeah.
Because that is the epitome.
Paul Pogba.
Epitome of what is wrong with a Man United player.
Yeah.
He's all about his image, posting his new haircuts. He's all about his social media. He's all about his brand. He's a brilliant player. He's a brilliant player, and we saw that when he played for France in the World Cup.
When he turns up.
When he turns up, well, he did turn up then. He turned up then, and he was brilliant, and he was world class.
Yeah.
Just get that one in again and get another dig in on Pogba, because they paid so much money for him, and I think it's an absolute travesty that he made one contribution. It was a goal assist contribution at the weekend. So give him credit for that, but you play for 90 minutes, not 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's not 20 seconds. I've done my job right. I'm clocking out. Like,
right, I've got something to post on social media later. Want to pass by me?
Can I go off? I've got a few things to. Yeah.
Anyway,
anyway,
let's wrap that one up. But, Yeah, thanks for getting me to talk about Man United again, because they're obviously my favourite subject.
I wanted to give him a bit of fuel, a bit of because you know, yeah, he likes this moment in time, and I can
It's
understand.
a lot better than when I was growing up. That's all.
I can imagine. I can imagine. It's payback. It's
payback time, exactly.
So, so honestly, I mean, like I say, the league title, it's still ongoing, and it'll be a bit, you know. But obviously, I think, me personally, I think fourth place, I think Arsenal are going to arrive in there. So, which is a shame for West Ham, because I think they've had a good season.
Yeah, but I think they've just fallen a little bit too far behind now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think third and fourth, I think Chelsea, Arsenal. Actually, not sure which way round that will be.
That could change,
yeah. That will be it.
That could change.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much all we had to say.
It was
sorry for all the teams in the middle that we're not really covering. But,
yeah, but we will on another segment. We ran a bit longer than what we thought we would, but it's nice to talk about football.
Yeah.
And
we don't do the Premier League that often these days.
We don't. So
the whole Premier League anyway.
Well, you know, we'll get it back on the road. So basically, obviously, if you can, please subscribe to the channel. It would help us out massively. Obviously, we like making the videos, and the more people that subscribe, the healthier the channel will grow.
Yeah, and put your comments underneath, you know, if you disagree with something we say, or even if you agree sometimes, every now and again with something we say, put the comments in beneath, and we'll, you know, it's good to have a discussion. That's what we're here to do. We're here to discuss football. You know, we have different views, we have different teams, but
of course,
a lot of them we're in agreement with at the moment. But
well, I mean, if you have decent comments that you want to put up on thing, we'll discuss it on the channel. You know what I mean? You'll get a shout out. We'll discuss it on the channel.
If you don't want to be mentioned, if you do put a comment in and you don't want it to be mentioned, just put anonymous, and then we won't mention your name.
Exactly.
But yeah.
So anyway, listen, like if you like, share if you think somebody would like to see this video. Yet again, subscribe, and from me, Keeper, I'm out.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys, and from me, Matt, I'm out.